Now, let's move on to property, and let's have a look at tonight's Inside Property. There are plenty of people who believe a house price crash is going to happen sooner or later. But will you sell your house now, sit on the profits, and wait till the market goes down so you can afford a bigger property?
Well, that's what at least one couple have done. And there are even websites popping up now where people discuss and predict when the price crash will happen. Sharon Thomas has been along to meet those convinced that a crash is coming.
Reinhard, Schu and his wife Sue Bike are now renting for the first time in their married life. They live in Aldgate, having sold their three-bedroomed home in Mile End a year ago. They're sitting on the capital until a house price slump, which they predict will come in the autumn.
We made a profit of £95,000 on the sale of our house, and we wanted to crystallise that profit rather than see it disappear again in a property crash. This has also allowed us to move closer to the city, so now I walk to work and save myself on the hassle and cost of commuting. With the funds that we've now made from the sale of the house, we will buy a bigger and nicer house at some point in the future when prices have come back to a more reasonable level.
The couple are regular users of a website set up to discuss the feverish speculation sweeping all aspects of the housing market. Anyone can post their thoughts about when they think a crash could come. This one was partly launched by a couple from Leigh-on-Sea in Essex, who've also sold their home and moved into rented accommodation, biding their time before buying again.
The house price issue now is the biggest talking point in London, probably, and people needed a forum to come and meet and discuss this. So we set the website up firstly as an educational tool, so people can see they can see graphs, they can see what economists are saying and putting it all together, bringing it all together. But also they can give their own anecdotal evidence on the ground of what's happening today in their street.
Housepricecrash.co.uk was originally launched last October and at the time had just 12 hits a day. That's now up to 10,000. So whether you believe it's scaremongering or that it can really help people to decide when there will be a plunge in the housing market, it's certainly fueling speculation about where property trends are heading.
I'm not interested in making a lot of money. I'm more interested in buying a bigger and better house in the future once prices have come back to sensible levels.
And you think the website's going to help you to do that?
I think the website will help me keeping informed about property prices and what's going on in the market and when is the right time to get back in.
That won't be for some time, according to these property watchers. And while they wait for the market to settle, both couples are planning to swap mortgages and interest rates for backpacks and tent pegs. They're all taking a year out to travel the world. Sharon Thomas, London Tonight, Aldgate.
Well, our regular property guru, Kirstie Allsopp, joins us now live from her very own home. Good evening, how are you?
I'm very well, how are you both?
We're good. We're sorry you're not with us, but it's nice to join you at home, as it were. Now, you were just listening to that piece there. Do you think, as a rule of thumb, we should sell up, bank the money and rent?
Oh, Alistair, it's such a good thing that I'm not in the studio because I'm so angry that that kind of thing is so irresponsible. Everyone has a right to make money in their own way. But to set up a website which is attempting to spread rumours about a market crash, causing misery to millions of people, I mean, it's like starting a rumour that there's smallpox in the water because you have the patent of a smallpox vaccine. I mean, I can hardly speak, I'm so cross. I really think that it's irresponsible. The web has enormous power these days, which we all recognise. We are, of course, all constantly concerned and talking about property prices. But the idea that a group of people who fancy taking a year out, which wouldn't we all love to do if we didn't have to pay our mortgages, think they can take a year out, start a website which causes panic and then come back to find that prices have gone down and they've made money, just makes me see red.
But apart from them, Kirstie, might there not be some people who have every right, perhaps,
I'd be very careful if I were. I think she's...
No, well, she's a long way away, it's fine. To maybe decide they want to play the market in this way. I mean, could it work for them, I suppose, is what I'm asking.
In the stock market, there's rules against this kind of thing. You know, there are insider trading regulations and that kind of thing. And I totally appreciate people playing the property market. I can feel my face going red. And I understand, as I said, people's desire to make money. But I do think this is the type of website which is trying to start a panic. there isn't going to be a market crash. There may well be a levelling off in the prices, which is something we've all been praying for years. But the couple who sold their house a year ago, I do feel sorry for them because they will have seen that house go up in value over the last year. And with stamp duty and agents' fees, you'd have to be looking at a 20% market crash in order simply to break even if you came out of the current market for more than a year. So you have to be very, very careful because you really could lose money this way.
Quick final thought on that one. The whole buy-to-rent business. I read something in one of the Sunday papers that the lenders are now making it slightly easier on the multiples, how much you can borrow and the rest of it, because rents are now actually beginning to come down, so it could all unravel anyway.
Of course, Alistair. I mean, it could unravel. There's no doubt about that. But it's very unlikely because we have to go back to the two things which ground us. Interest rates are historically low, despite the rises we've had recently, and employment is very, very high. And as long as we have those two factors, it's incredibly unlikely. The last property market crash was when we had interest rates at 14 to 15%. And we just haven't got that situation and are unlikely to have it.
Kirstie, thank you very much indeed. Always nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
Even when
Terrifying.
cross.
It's a totally visual way of that vase coming through the screen. I fear it would have